Minasan konnichiwa, Kazuki desu, and this is going to be a idiot's guide to poker. So, if you don't know how to play poker, or even if you do, this is going to have some tips in this game that I didn't even realize when I started playing poker. A couple of the things, as far as, or maybe just one of the things. So, anyways, without further ado, I'm just going to start it. So, you can bet anywhere from 1 to 10 to 100 to 1,000 chips. And even if you're starting out, I would probably recommend doing 1,000 chips. In the metal shop, you can buy basically the chips or metals per Valis. And so I would do that. I would get the Valis you need from basically the boosted Auxilia or the Valis quests, and then exchange them for chips. And so, also, in normal poker, you would play against somebody else to try and beat their hand. And a hand is basically just the cards that you have, that you're holding, you're given to play with. And in this, you're not playing against anybody. You're just trying to get a hand that pays out. And hands that pay out, basically prizes or medals, are shown right here at the top. You can say 2 pair, and it changes depending on your bets. You can see it's changing now at the top. So 2 pair would pay out 200 if my bet's 100. Now 2 pair pays out 2,000 if my bet is 1,000. And so this is basically draw poker, and it's 5-card poker. So if I click play, I just spent 1,000 chips and I got 5 cards. And so since it is draw poker, basically I can keep some of these cards, and then I can draw however many I decide not to keep. But I'm going to go over some basics first. There are 56 cards in a deck of cards. Sometimes you play with 52 cards. In this game, you're going to be playing with 56. So there are 52 cards. There are 4 different suits. So there are basically, I'm just tapping on that hold you can see right there. You can see that's an ace, and it's an ace of spades. So you can see it's got a spade on there. So that's one of the suits. This 8 is an 8 of clubs. So you can see there are clubs on there. That's another one of the suits. And this 9 is a 9 of hearts. That's another one of the suits. And the other suit is another red suit, and it would be diamonds. And so there's an ace, so there's 2 through ace of spade. There's 2 through ace of club. There's 2 through ace of heart. And there's 2 through ace of diamond. So that's 13 cards in all, making that 13 times 4 is 52. So that's 52 cards. And then the other 4 cards are jokers. So sometimes you don't play with those 4 jokers. It depends on the game. And in this game, there are actually jokers in here. So if you're used to playing poker, a lot of games you don't play with jokers, and some games you do. In this particular game, in Danmachi's version, you're playing with jokers. So that's basically some of the general things. And so normally you would try to get, pick higher cards, and you would be trying to beat a person. But now you're literally just trying to get one of those things that pays out at the top. So you don't have to worry about any of that. You literally are just trying to get something that pays out. So what are things that pay out? 2 pair. So if I had 2 different cards that were 7s, that's 1 pair. So if I had 2 different cards that were 7s and 2 different cards that were 10s, that would be 2 pair, because I would have a pair of 7s and a pair of 10s. So that would pay me 2,000. 3 of a kind would be if I had 3 7s. So that would pay me 3,000. If I had a straight, I'm actually kind of close to a straight. That would be 8, 7, or that would be 7, 8, 9, 10, and then a jack or a 6 would make it a straight. So a straight is basically any 5 cards that would be in order. So there is basically, so like anywhere from like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would be a straight. I think that's 5 cards. I might have even said more. So any 5 cards that are in order, they don't have to be the same suits, they don't have to be the same colors, but any 5 cards in order. And so just so you know, this ace can be a 1 or it can be an ace, essentially. So if you had basically 2, 3, 4, and 5, if you had that ace could be a 1 and that could get you a straight. Or if you had jack, queen, king, and a 10, that ace would be an ace and that would get you a straight as well. I kind of said that a bit out of order. So like 10, jack, king, queen, and that ace. So that ace can act as a 2, or that ace can act as like a high card, as an ace, for straights. And then also, just so you know, in this game, the jacks, and they have a J on them, are Bell. The queens are eyes, so they have eyes on her and they'll have a Q on them. And the kings are Otar, and they'll have a K on them. And then the aces obviously are just aces. So in this scenario, I could keep these cards and try for a straight, which sometimes I do if I feel lucky enough for it, or I literally can just wipe all my cards. And sometimes I do that. I think I'm just going to wipe all my cards right now. So I only had 1 pair, so that didn't get me anything. And I click play again. So that was a straight. A flush is if you had all of the same suit. There are some diamonds, so you can see that's diamond. And there's a queen, so that's eyes. So I have 1 pair here now. You can see I've got a pair of 2s. So basically, a flush is all of the same suit of cards. So they don't have to be any particular order. Doesn't matter what it is. But say I had all diamonds, or say I had all spades, or say I had all hearts, or say I had all clubs. That would pay me out 10,000. A full house is basically 3 of a kind. So say I have 3 9s and a pair. So say I had 3 of these 9s and this pair of 2s, which I do have. That would be a full house, and that would pay me 12,000. So 4 of a kind would just be if I had 2 more of those 2s, so I would have 4 of them. That would pay me 20,000. A straight flush is just like I was saying, the cards have to be in order. So like 10 jack, that's not a good example. So like 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and they're all the same suit. So say I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of diamonds. That is a straight flush, and that would pay me 100,000. And now 5 of a kind would just be if I had 5 2s. But there are only 4 2s in a deck. Remember, because there's only the 2 of diamonds, the 2 of clubs, the 2 of hearts, and the 2 of spades. But remember, we are playing with 4 jokers, so you can get a joker, which jokers, by the way, can be any card. So they can be any card that you need, and they will act as any card that you need. So with a joker, you can get 5 of a kind, and that would pay you 300,000. And so the last thing, and this is the hardest, basically, hand to get. And also, by the way, these pay you out more because each hand that pays you out more is statistically harder to get. Is a royal straight flush. And that is 10 through ace of the same suit. Which is why I said that was a bad example, because that's a royal straight flush. So 10 of spades, jack of spades, queen of spades, king of spades, ace of spades would pay you 500,000. Or there could be a joker in there if you're missing a card, because like I said, jokers could be anything, but that is a royal straight flush and pays you 500,000. So know that those are some of the basics. You know that you're playing with 13 cards in each suit, 52 cards there, and then 4 jokers, so 56 cards total, and you need to get these things at the top that pay out. And I've kind of explained them. I'm going to play a little bit. So my rule of thumb is, if you're one off a straight, you can keep those cards. That's statistically, you've got some decent odds there. Like I said, if I feel lucky, I kind of do that. If you're one off a suit, since, you know, half the deck is, since the deck is divided into fours, if you're one card off getting basically a flush, essentially. So say I had 4 diamonds. Say all those are diamonds, and I just need this card to be a diamond. I could hold all 4 of those and try for a diamond. Well, since there are 4 suits, and I've got 4 cards that I'm missing that are already diamonds, but I also have 4 jokers, that means 1/4 of the time, 25% of the time, that card that I'm not holding is going to be a diamond. So I've got a 25% shot of getting 10,000, of getting that payout, 25% chance of winning and getting a higher payout. So that's pretty good odds. I like it. So if I get, you know, 4 of the same suit, I'm going to hold them and try to do that. Straights, I sometimes don't try for, I just don't. And then high cards, sometimes in real poker you would hold those, but high cards mean nothing, so I don't hold them at all here. Which a high card would just be like, this queen is a really good card by itself in normal poker, but it's not a pair here, and the only thing that pays you out here is 2 pairs, so not even this pair of 2s is good to have. In normal poker, it's not that bad, because at least it's a pair, but here it's not going to pay you anything. So what I do is, if I'm not one off a straight, or I'm not one off a flush, and I don't have a pair, I wipe all my cards. I just trade them all in. I click that trade button. I don't have this hold highlighted. I trade them all in. But I have this pair of 2s, so I'm going to hold this pair of 2s, and I'm just going to see what I get. I only have that pair of 2s, so 1 pair. I'm going to play. I could try and hold all these and try to get that 4 for a straight, or I could just trade them all in. I think I'm going to trade them all in. I only have the high card of the jack. I'm going to trade them all in. There's nothing there anywhere. I just have that high card of the jack. Got a pair of kings. I'm going to keep those and trade the rest. And basically, you just tap them to hold this. This is something I really wanted to show you guys, which I didn't realize when I started playing this. When you have a winning hand, this is 3 of a kind, so that pays me 3,000. When you have a winning hand, they will all highlight and flash silver, like kind of this silver white diagonally. If you see them, you see all those cards highlighting that silver wave flashing through them. I didn't realize that. I'm really good at poker. I've been playing poker like for money with my family members and other people, all different kinds of pokers, not just draw poker, all different, like, since forever. So like, I don't really need this, but if you really need help, it literally tells you when you have a hand that lets you win by flashing those highlights through it. If you can see those cards right now, if you see what I'm talking about. So if you're worried about that and not knowing when you have something good, if you have a hand that's already winning at the start, it'll let you know. So I have that 3 of a kind there. Now this, when you get a hand and you win, it'll ask you if you want to challenge. And if you click challenge, you can lose your prize. So when you click challenge, you see this card to the left, it flipped over an 8. Now I have to pick of these 4 cards, and I have to pick a card that's higher than it. So now I said ace can be a 2 or a higher card, higher than a king. Now ace is going to be the highest card. Ace is not a 2 in this. It is the very, very highest card. So it goes 2 through 10. That's simple. Jack is higher than 10. Queen is higher than Jack. King is higher than Queen. And then ace is higher than king. So ace is the highest card. And the bad thing about this is sometimes, unfortunately, all the cards can be lower. They're coming out with an update, and the next update, they're supposed to fix it so that at least one of the cards is higher. This is called high-low, and normally you would actually, in real, like high-low, you would pick whether the card that you're flipping over is going to be higher than this 8 that I have or lower. And I would say whether I think the card that I flip over is going to be higher or lower. But for whatever reason in Danmachi, you only get a chance to pick higher cards. You have to pick a card that's higher. They don't give you the option to say, I want to pick a lower card. You have to pick a higher card. I don't know why they do that. Because I've been playing cards since forever, and I know how real cards are. That really makes me mad. But that's just how it is. So I got a 3. A 3 is lower than an 8. So I didn't win. So all my prize, that 3,000 I just won, back to the casino. I didn't win any of it. You don't have to double up, but you can. So I could take this pair, or I could take all 4 of those diamonds and try that 25% for a flush for a higher payout. I think I'm going to keep just that pair. We'll see. No. First card was a 3 of hearts, so I wouldn't have gotten that flush anyways. I'm just going to keep this Joker, the wild card. That's what the Jokers look like, by the way. It can be any card, but I don't have any other matching cards. So I'm just going to keep it and keep playing. I have 3 of a kind because I have 2 4s and 2 of those Jokers. So I can quit, keep that 3,000 I won again, or I can challenge and try to double up again. I got an 8 again. I didn't double up. I failed again. If I would have picked that queen in the middle, I would have made that 6,000. I'll keep the pair of 4s. Nope, 1 pair. So, they're flashing again. I have 3 6s. That's 3 of a kind. 3,000. I'm going to try and double up. I got to beat a 3. See, a 10's higher than a 3. I doubled up. Now I have 6,000. Now I can quit, or I can try and double up again. So if I click quit, I take that 6,000. You can see down there I won $6,000. Or 6,000 chips. You can literally pretty much double up as much as you want. If you double up a certain amount of times, you can see I have 2 pair here, a pair of 4s and a pair of 2s. You can see they're flashing again, saying that I'm going to win. And 2 pair pays 2,000. And I didn't double up, so I lost all that $2,000 I just won. I'm just going to keep the Joker and keep going. I'm going to try to play a bit and not talk too much. I'm just going to keep that 8s. I could try for... Let's try for a flush this time and see if that happens. No, it doesn't. Just going to keep the pair of aces. But if you're new, I would only recommend trying to double up once or twice until you get the hang of double up. Because you can lose a lot of money or win a lot of money from double up. That was really unlucky. But definitely, if you want to double up a lot, I would say try to build up some money before you do. You can see it's highlighting with the Joker. I've got 4 of a kind if I use that, or 3 of a kind, sorry. So 3 4s. So I've got the pair of 4s and the Joker making 3 of a kind. I don't know why I said 4 of a kind, because it was a 4, my bad. You can also get a draw. So if you get a draw, you can quit and nothing happens. You keep that reward money you have, or you can challenge again and it picks a random card again. I got a jack again. You can try. I got a draw again. I got a 3. So doubled up. I got 6,000. I can try and beat a king. So it doubles every time. So if I do win this double up, I would get 12,000 now from that 6,000 I just doubled. And I did. So now I have 12,000. And I could try to double that, and it would be 24,000. So I have 3 of a kind with the Joker. So they're highlighting and flashing silver again. If you double up enough times, actually, like, chips fly down across the screen. I think it's like 5 times. Chips fly down across the screen, and it does this animation, and it says double up success, but mostly just the chips falling down across the screen and the animation saying that basically to show that you've doubled up quite a few times. And generally speaking, if you double up 5 times, even off 2,000 or 3,000, you've won like, I think it's 100 something thousand at least on, or 300. It's a decent amount. There's the animation. If you've doubled up enough times. Okay. And now I'm going to quit out and not try and double up again. So, thank you all for watching. I hope that explains draw poker to you and Danmachi poker anyways. And I hope that helps you win a little bit. If you're new, I would still bet 1,000, but I would only double up once, maybe twice, until you get the hang of it. But thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all next time. If you did enjoy this, please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content.